Next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Stafford. And he's got his man on the out route. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
Now it's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant.
Stafford on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Mike 40, Mike 40. Rabbit.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford any more at this point.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Here's Johnson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Ricky, hurry!
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Smallwood. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, orbit.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. He finds his man Johnson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Matt Patricia, he says now's the time. His guys are going to go for it on 4th.
Drill right, 22. Like 7.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
And the Lions, first down.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
40 got. 45.
Throwing is Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A big run that time by Elliott. 43 yards on the ground. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Hey, express. Hey, gotta go.
Play action. Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devon Kennard coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
You got tight right there. Show it. 11. Hey, Delta.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 32-yard line.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Ryan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 11, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
11 yards there and a line first down. Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, Smallwood, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Now a first down throw. Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Stafford. This will be caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Detroit! 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Hey, check. Let's go. Hey.
This time Ryan will throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now Ryan. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They'll run it with Elliott. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Hey, exit. Watch the whip. 45's the mic. 45's the mic. 80 weapon. Come on, D. Check.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. He finds some open field here. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
Yellow 80. Yellow 80. Zebra.
Now Stafford to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Set. 180. 32. Get your swarm on. Go. Check Mike 45. Here we go. 45.
Here's Stafford. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They go to Elliott again. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
Brings up 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Ryan, that's complete to his running back, Kamara. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Ryan now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. Now Ryan. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Hey, Haywood!
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And an alley to run. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Prater for the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and 13. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Hey, wait. Smooth. Kill. Check 13. Check 13. Wait.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Devon Kennard picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. 3rd down, it's Wendell Smallwood. And some room to run now. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
From the 24, Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
And we're going 37's to Mike. Mike 37.
They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Prater on to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something. Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Lions, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well.